Um, Good evening, viewers. Media house is present here, and our colleagues, that come to join us, and also most importantly, faculty-based associations within the University of the Gambia. For the viewers across the country, my name is Nyaninka Manja, the president of the University of the Gambia Students Union. First, I wanted to emphasize that a divided majority cannot move the agenda of the student union. A united minority is more fruitful and impactful than that of a divided majority. We have a shared common agenda, and our agenda is to propel the agenda of the students. That is why, as mandated by the Constitution, we put students' interests first. But what happened yesterday, I must take this opportunity for our brothers and sisters who may go through suffocations when it comes to the tear gas, that this is not our intention. We could have fight this battle together. But I believe if you entrust the leadership, you cannot give me the position and then take the law in your own hands. We are not asking you what you did is bad or good. But what we believe as a responsible government, that we need to engage into dialogue and make a progressive and a sustainable solution for every university student, irrespective of your gender, race, or where you belong to. So as the union president, since this dismissal occurred on the 15th of November, we are not relenting, we are relentless to ensure that we put a matter at hold, to ensure that the academic progress and the administrative services do not have to be jeopardized. And we have been engaging with stakeholders, both the university management and also the staff association in particular on this matter. As we speak, as the Information and Communication Minister alluded, that we are just from having a meeting today, and therefore we have passed a resolution, and I make it emphatically as the union president, that inasmuch as our position or our interest is threatened, then as the union president, mandated by the Constitution, where I took oath that I will not sit down and watch things unfolding the way it is. This is not what we hope for, what happened yesterday. A lot has been said on our personality. A lot of allegations were said on our personality as student leadership. But one thing that I must emphasize to you, the students that entrust us with your vote, that we cannot be peddled for any other self-aggrandizement by any party, either the staff association, the senior management of the University of the Gambia, or the government of this country, that we believe are the umbrella body for our welfare and interests. One thing that I must stress out for the students that went out yesterday, claiming the reinstatement of staffs within the University of the Gambia. For the records, we need to use the law as the alpha and the omega. The law is what guides us in any activity that we do. You are asking for reinstatement. Is that our mandate by the supreme law that governs the student body? The reinstatement of staffs is never within our mandate, and we must clear that to the students, that it is not within our mandate. And I will repeat, it is not within our mandate. When the boss crisis occurred here, the staff association or the senior management of the University of the Gambia never saw solidarity, because we believe that falls within our jurisdiction, because it directly affects the student body, and therefore we should take the bull by the horn to address the matter. When the issue of clearance persisted, none of the staff and faculty association saw even a solidarity to the student union. Why are we then showing solidarity of something that is not within our jurisdiction? Then that question the union that we want to progress as an agenda. No matter the consequences, I was intimidated. I will not tell you all what has been transpired. Some are very confidential. But I went through a lot. But I remain persistent, because I believe when it is tough, when I look around, the people that I should see are the students, not the staff association. They have a problem to deal with, and that problem is to look into the welfare of their staffs. And when it comes to the welfare of students, it is within our purview as mandated by the Constitution, and also as the embodiment of the union, to stand in solidarity with the students. Yesterday, I was compelled to even come on the attendance, but it will be detrimental and it will be suicidal as this signal that we are raising as the union. And we pass resolutions, and the resolution is for the interest of both parties and for peace to reign for the university that we want. Because if we continue to fight, disrepute the image of the university, and it is the university that we all wanted to attain our degree, at the end of the day, you cannot burn your house that you are living in or within. That is obviously impossible. And we've seen non-university students trying to propel the matter of the issues by putting themselves before the students and aggravating their anger to make sure that they have a position. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, let us not allow external body to use us. We are not a puppet to the government of the Gambia. We are not a puppet to the Vice Chancellor. We are not a puppet to the UTG Staff Association. And that must be clear, that we have an independent body mandated by the Constitution. I do not want to speak much because every individual is taxed to speak on a matter. And a lot of things, thank God, we've passed a resolutions and we've passed our demands that it is now even beyond the issue of, administrative and academic matters to resume as soon as possible. But other related matters that is affecting your schools has been addressed. And this is put before the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia and senior government officials. And we are not going to relent as far as I am your president. And I will take every blames. I will take every bullets when it is required.
Thank you very much, Honorable, and of course, respective protocols, and of course, sincere greetings to all of you that are present, the media fraternity, the Gambia, and of course, the world at large. These are trying moments, of course, that are bound to happen. When people live in a relationship, problems of this nature at some point are bound to emanate. However, how we handle it and how we deal with it are, of course, very important points that we need to look at as students of the University of the Gambia pursuing our different degrees, bachelor degrees in various programs. Now, I want to just shed a bit of light and reiterate the points that the SG of the Students' Union just mentioned. I would not go deep into that because he has already mentioned most of those things. That is to say, one, when the issue happened on the 15th of November 2024, when the dismissal notice or when the dismissal was passed or served, the student leadership of the School of Business and Public Administration was, notified about it. By the way, as the Secretary General, Mr. Ibrahim Abayo of the School of Business and Public Administration Students Leadership, we, have to take the matter, with a very careful approach. That is to say, one, the notice has been served, and we have also get the information, just like most of us here, outside there. There was no formal letter written to us, and of course, there was no notice to our management, the management at the School of Business and Public Administration, the dean down to the senior faculty staff. There was no communication. So I particularly, with the council, came up with the fact that, okay, we need to write to management about this particular matter. First, it was seeking clarifications, and of course, to verify whether or not this particular, message that we receive is actually factual or not. And we definitely wrote to them. That was on the 18th of November 2024. On the same day, on the 18th, the respected or respective units of the University of the Gambia, from the senior management down to the student leadership of the entire body, were copied. The SU was copied, and of course, the Director of Students Affairs, the Office of the, Vice Chancellor, the Dean of our school or our faculty, and all the necessary stakeholders. Responses were made to the emails, and of course, I may not go deep into that, but most of which I would emphasize were supportive statements from the union that the matter is crucial and management need to take an action. Now, on the 19th of November 2024, the student union, at their own executive level, being the umbrella body of the University of the Gambia students, sent another letter supporting the demands of the School of Business and Public Administration student leadership on behalf of their students. On the same vein, on the 23rd, an ultimatum was served since no action relevant has been taken. An ultimatum was served to the management indicating that if our demands and our requests are ignored and our emails are not responded, we would obviously go ahead on an industrial action. And that was a planned protest. So on the planned protest issue came up on the 26th from the domain of the council, and that was the official organized and created page by the council to embark on a protest. On the same date, an invitation was called to meet the office of the vice president. I put it as the republic because that is the senior, that is the government. The office of the vice president is the venue. However, it was the government because in the representation were members from various ministries. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, the National Security Advisor, and of course, other relevant stakeholders that has an issue or a stake in the matter concerned. So at this point, you could see that definitely there were engagements that were done by the student leadership of the faculty-based association, BPA, that is in connotation, ECOMANSA. At that particular meeting, the grounds were reached and resolutions were passed, among which include that the university management should immediately communicate, and not only should they communicate, but of course they should address the demands that were put forward. There should have been a replacement, and of course there should be the continuity of the academic progress as it stands. We have to understand one thing very clearly, like the president of the union mentioned, and I will reiterate it again, that in our mindset, we can have different views, but our mandate is very clear. We only come out and stand and fight and request, demand or support for causes that are on behalf and that rests just within the welfare of the students we represent who voted for the semester to complete or for the semester to come to an end. Unfortunately, the resolutions that were demanded were basically to address the matter and to see that academic services continue. The issue of appointment and dismissal rests and lies, I want to make it very clear, rests and lies completely as a decision of the management. And we as students have no say. We have no say in that particular matter. And that the president mentioned very clearly, I just have to reiterate the point. Now, the view diverged, or called a different direction, that the students went on to claim that we are requesting for the reinstatement of our dismissed lecturers. Even though when the issue happened, the executive created a page for the affected students, they are witnesses and they can testify, to consult them that what are your demands, put forward your demands. We have to put it very clearly, even though it could be part of the demands, but if it is not within our domain, we cannot push it. That has to be very clear. We can only push what falls within our domain, and that we must ensure that there is a shift or there is a progress in the academic services. Now I have to make something very clear at this stage. The University of the Gambia Student Union or the University of the Gambia Student General in general or in totality, the student fraternity is urged to understand the matter. This is not a matter of BPA as we speak. It is a matter of the University of the Gambia students as a whole. That is to say, there has been a complete shift in the nature of the situation. That is to say, lecturers, staffs, and of course, the faculty and staff association has gone on a strike or went on a strike as they threatened yesterday, effective. All of us are here and we can testify to that. That strike affects every single student of the University of the Gambia. And this is the shift of the course from the fight of the School of Business and Public Administration with the University of the Gambia Student Union to a fight of the entire University of the Gambia student fraternity. That stands for honesty, that stands for truth, that stands for justice. That stands to support and fight for the welfare of the people they serve. It is not in our interest to see what happened yesterday happened. It is definitely not in our interest, and we sympathize with people that have been victimized in that particular cause as a council. We definitely sympathize with them, and of course that is why you could see that even when the matter happened, the president have to go and of course take steps to see how issues are going. Definitely it is not our wish to see that happen. However, the divided opinions should not be a cause to divide us in our efforts and approaches. We are one united force. We are one united student body. And of course, we are pushing one agenda. That is to see that what we claim and what we request, the welfare of our students, continue to happen. I may not go down deep into the other details with respect to what you may hear today.
However, other speakers would talk about that. By the way, I want to make it very clear that ECOMANSA, the University of the Gambia Student Leadership, Student Union, and ECOMANSA, supportively from other associations, sub-associations, have stood their grounds to make sure that the threatened industrial action of the staff association did not even materialize. We have taken efforts to do that. In fact, one of the concerns that was put at the stakeholder meeting on the 27th and 28th at the office of the Vice President, with the Republic, I would call it, as I always mention, that one of the clear points was that the staff association must not go on this strike because it affects the academic progress of the University of the Gambia. We as stakeholders are the ones affected, and of course we need to view the matter in that nature. Let us stand together. Let us stand and support each other. Let us see that our interests are collective and are pushed forward as a unanimous agenda and decision of the University of the Gambia Student Union and of course the ECOMANSA Student Leadership. On that note, I thank you very much. Thank you.